Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nicholas Necessity from Culture Gaming, and today I got a very special guest today, Eric Stuart from James from Pokémon and Brock, and also Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Right. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for having us today.
Yeah.
Now, let's start off with your first question. I've been curious, how do you land a role at the 4Kids Entertainment for both James and Brock, and also Seto Kaiba? Can you explain how you managed to get those two or three big roles?
I auditioned for Pokemon before I worked for 4Kids. Actually, the stuff was done through Taj Productions back then. And I didn't get either role in the very beginning. Oh, okay. They started with another actor for the first episode of Brock, decided they didn't like him, and then called me. So that was nice of them. James, I had a good friend of mine was the voice of James for the first 5 or 6 episodes, and then he decided he wanted to pursue more theater. Yeah. So I came in the beginning to impersonate him, and then took on the role for the next 10 years. And I got the role of Seto Kaiba. I was hired by 4Kids to direct Yu-Gi-Oh! And they hadn't found a voice actor for Kaiba at that time, and we went through a long process of auditioning, and finally the engineer that I was working with said, you know, you really should audition for this because I think you'd be great. And I said, but I'm directing the show, I don't want to do both things. You know, that would be kind of like double dipping, as we call it.
Okay.
But then I finally said to the producer, let me read for this, I think I know what you want, and I ended up playing Kaiba for 17 years. So.
Okay, well that's interesting. Let's follow up with that. You were supposed to direct Yu-Gi-Oh?
I did.
So
yeah.
How far were you into development of like directing Yu-Gi-Oh? Were you in like early stages or far well into the process of like the creation of the show in terms of direction?
I directed the first 2 seasons. They had already done some of the casting, but I directed the first 2 seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh! I directed GX. I directed a lot of shows there. So as the director, though, we don't have the creative input beyond helping find the actors. I didn't write the show, things like that. So I only have so much say as the director. I wasn't the producer.
Okay, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, going on to your voice acting career, you, like we said before, you played James, Brock, and Kaiba.
Right.
Personally, which character do you find the most enjoyable to play?
Enjoyable, that's a tricky question. I think I like comedic bad guys, so James makes me laugh the most.
Yeah.
Kaiba's the most challenging because of his walking that fine line between not being a villain but being a rival.
Yeah.
But yes, James makes me laugh the most. But I like all 3 of them. And Brock, James, and Kaiba are all very different, but they're all very special.
Okay, that's great. With all those 3 characters, do you have a favorite line from those 3 characters? If you have to choose one line, if you can remember.
I'll just use my trusty frying pan as a drying pan as Brock's. James says in the movie with the unknown, I haven't seen this many strange letters since I placed that personal ad. That's my favorite line from him. And I think Kaiba, I don't really have one favorite line from him. I do like, the fact that he plays Blue Eyes White Dragon all the time, as if that's a surprise, is always funny to me. Yeah.
Now, going on to Yu-Gi-Oh, the age-old question within the Yu-Gi-Oh community, who do you think deserves to win? Yugi Moto or Seto Kaiba in a duel?
Well, I think Yugi cheats, so Seto has to win at some point, but he never will win because Yugi is cheating. I don't know where he gets those cards from, but he's like pulling them out of his sleeve, his shoes, I don't know.
And final question, relating to Seto Kaiba, do you have any favorite duel monster character that Seto Kaiba uses?
Besides the Blue Eyes White Dragon?
Besides the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Blue Eyes Shining Dragon is cool. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is cool.
Hey, that's cheating.
Yeah, exactly. I like all the dragon ones. That's just neat, yeah.
I think everyone is a fan of those dragons.
Yep.
Do you have any more questions you would like to... Or do you have anything you want to...
Well, I will say that Dan Green and I are working on a new show. We're working on our own original series called Crossing the Gods. It's a short, they're like 5 to 7 minute long episodes, but it's not your standard anime. What we've done, we've created a genre called an illustrated audio drama. So it's like listening to an audiobook while reading a black and white comic book. And Dan Green does all of the illustrations himself. He wrote the script. We play characters in it. It stars actors from Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Turtles, people you grew up listening to are all in the show. That's one of the things that we want people to check out is come to our Facebook page, look for Crossing the Gods, keep up with what we're doing. But right now we've recorded 26 episodes and we're working on each episode one by one because, as I said, Dan is drawing them. And that takes a little bit of time, but I think fans of what we've done for other shows will enjoy this. But it's completely a different animal than what they're used to.
Well, I'll definitely check that out,
Cool.
and I recommend everyone else to check that out. Thank you so much
You got
for
it.
having us.
Thank you.